Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. Thank you for being patient through the weekend. I'm sorry I haven't been here. I was doing 3D physical stuff. So here we are for a reading. I'm being very called to frame this around inner child stuff. And my wild child deck was just on the floor. So I'm gonna use that too, probably. So let's go ahead and get a few current energies from the Yin Yang Oracle, and then we'll go into some past energies with the inner child stuff, and hopefully we can get some stuff cleared, or at least up to the surface, where we can work with it, okay? Good morning. Yes, we have lack, past, and suffering. And we have offer with Venus, the planet of love. Maybe this is some sort of rejection wound. I think all of us have that, at least one. Maybe it's a rejection wound from a parent or some sort of family member that was supposed to be trustworthy, caring to you. We have change and courage, we have higher self-activation, and we have avoidance and stalemate. So the courage to change. Remember, change is the only constant, and when you have a hard time wrapping your head around that, think about nature and the way that nature changes so gracefully, rhythmically, and allow yourself to flow, okay? We have this avoidance and stalemate. Again, like I already said, there's some sort of energy that we need to acknowledge so that it can be released, so that we can step into this higher version of ourselves. The best version of ourselves is what our higher self is, right? We're not competing with anyone outside of us, just the past version of ourselves, which is a day-to-day thing, right? So today, I'm going to be better than yesterday. Kind of approaching life with that way, that frame of mind is yesterday I did these things I wasn't proud of, or I don't want to do anymore. Or if it's not yesterday, last year. But usually it's a yesterday thing. Just allow yourself to have a small scope. Allow your past, present, and future to be yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Especially when you're doing heavy lifting, emotional labor. We have family, home, and commitment coming out. These little baby chucks. Alright, and let's get a few more. I was looking for my synchronicity deck. I don't know where it is. I feel like it's probably on the floor. I like to use the synchronicity deck when I use the child deck. Hang on, let me see. It's probably down here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and be done using the yin yang. And these two are on the floor. So, let's go ahead and get some of the wild child. We do have nostalgia and memories at the bottom of the deck. Deception and temptation may be something that you are working through or being presented with. Just be careful, right? You don't know what's beyond the surface, but when you start to understand what is beyond the surface, allow yourself to cut energies out as needed, right? People, behaviors, habits, yourself included, right? Yeah. Alright, give us some new cards, not the ones that always come out with this deck. We already know those themes, please. I swear to God, the same 4 cards come out every fucking time. Okay, what are these? Gentleness, thorn, An ardor. I don't know what that means. I have to look that up. Hold please. Ardor. Ardor. I learned a new word yesterday. Ardor. Enthusiasm or passion. Enthusiasm and passion, thorn and gentleness. Let's get a couple more themes. Obviously, thorn could be some sort of mistreatment, pain that you experienced, or it could be the self barriers, like your protection that you've put up because of whatever happened to you. It's interesting because we do have this Venus love offer. Well, it's not necessarily a love offer, but Venus is the planet of love, associated with love, and this rose. So with the rose and the thorn, what is that song? Who sings that song? Isn't that Bret Michaels? Every rose has a thorn. Bret Michaels, you guys remember when he was on one of those Bachelor shows? Every rose. Oh, it's a song by Poison. Is Bret Michaels in Poison? Michaels. In Poison. Yes. Okay. Anyway, I spent a lot of time in dive bars in Wisconsin playing with jukeboxes, okay? Alright. We have Bloom, again with this theme of allowing yourself to grow beyond limitations, and Light. And we have Air. So maybe we're in this space of allowing things to just wisp by. Alright, I'm going to start using the, let's get a few more from the Synchronicity deck. We do already have the Empress, again, which is about nurturing, very fruitful energy on the bottom. This doesn't look too bad. It looks like maybe we have like a couple reoccurring either memories or things come up for us, but it doesn't seem like at this point in time for this collective watching, this is like debilitating. It looks like it's just kind of a conscious effort to allow yourself to either let the past go or allow yourself to acknowledge the pain that you experienced, right? But again, I think the main theme of this reading is allowing ourselves to not think of the past, present, and future in such large terms. It's kind of to bring it back in and just, again, past being yesterday, present being today, future being tomorrow, right? You know, allowing your inner child to rest in that, knowing that you as this person will be, I always think of the Three of Cups with this energy, past, present, future energy, allowing yourself to be guided, right? The past informs the present, and the present informs the future. So, what things are you unwilling to do again, and what things do you want to do differently so that you can ensure those things don't happen, right? Avoidance and stalemate is like, avoidance and stalemate in the past and suffering are the two shadow energies. And you know, this is around some sort of family environment, more than likely, whatever that looks like for you. I mean, I don't talk to anyone in my family at this point in time. Having the courage to change, having the courage to call shit out. You know, this generation now, I mean, I'm not trying to put divisive, but like this generation, millennials and down, I would say, are calling our family members out on the ways that they mistreated us, holding people accountable, where in the past it was just, you know, family shit, it was swept under the rug. But people are getting online, and people are letting it be known, and sharing their truth, and regardless of what that does to their family ties. And I think that's, myself included, I'm in on this. I think it's very important for us who do want things to be different for the future. And I'm not talking about tomorrow future, I am talking about, generationally future, right? We have joy, fall in imagination. So allowing yourself to get back into that childlike wonder, where you are able to see the magic around you and acknowledge it for that, right? Play. Ooh, we have storm coming out. Maybe not enough. Maybe not enough play. Not enough allowing your imagination to guide you, right? And that's, I like to also think, so when we're thinking of that past, present, and self as yesterday, tomorrow, or yesterday, today, and tomorrow, then we can also think about the inner child, or who we are today, right? Our 3D self and our higher self, which is our future self. And I think, I'm not a Christian, but I like to often think of the Trinity as those different ways, right? If that's helpful to you, if you're able to receive that, you are welcome to use it. That Father, Son, Holy Ghost, instead of that, because we are the only ones that can control our life, right? And because we are here alive, I think, instead of that, allowing ourselves to think of ourselves as in control, right? Of ourselves in this way. And again, not competing with anyone outside of ourselves, not having envy, but allowing ourselves to be inspired by others, allowing ourselves to see ourselves as worthy and capable of that same process, right? Of what we would be envious of. And when we do that, that is how we grow, acknowledging that we're here to grow. This fall energy here in the Northern Hemisphere, that's where we're at right now. Maybe you are harvesting, maybe you're acknowledging. I think a part of the process I go through subconsciously is this acknowledgement of what I've done this year so far, the things that I've accomplished, and also allowing myself to be present in that, right? So that harvest energy, allowing yourself to, we have gather at the bottom of the deck, which a lot of people have a connotation with Thanksgiving, which is this also the same time, but it's this acknowledgement of the work that we've done on ourselves or around us in the physical, and allowing ourselves to kind of fall back and rest. Yesterday I spent the day horizontal. I haven't had a day like that in a very long time, and I was like, I watched Netflix in bed, and my children allowed it, and it was lovely. I needed it. We have strength, acknowledging your strength and resilience, because of whatever happened to you in childhood, right? And how that has informed your path as you've come into adulthood, right? Gentleness. Are you being gentle with yourself in the ways that other people weren't? I think when we start to do that, it's this kind of this idea of reparenting ourselves. And what are you excited about with this Ardwar? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. What are you excited about? What do you want to achieve? What have you been working on? How are you progressing? What needs to be hit head on? I used to be an avoidant because I grew up in that kind of environment within my family. And now I am absolutely, I'm going to hit this head on like a goddamn train. If there's any sort of elephant in the room, if there's any sort of uneasy energy, because I can feel energy of others, I do not avoid things. I like to speak it how it is and get to the root of the issue. so that we can figure out how to move forward, right? Instead of pretending like everything's just fine. So bloom and thorn and offer. What do you have to offer the world? There's a lot of like plant themes. So again, reconnecting with nature and also with this storm, acknowledging you're part of nature as well. So no matter what you go through, challenges, struggles, things like that, the harder things to approach. I mean, this society has such a weird connotation about any sort of negativity, which is fascinating because it's such an evil society in which we live, right? Like, they make this, there's this like conditioning to make you feel bad about any sort of struggle you might have. Like, you shouldn't have that, or you should be grateful anyway, right? But like, nature doesn't grow without storms, right? So like, acknowledging that those are a very essential part of your story. Not necessarily that we need to put the struggle and challenges, we don't, it's a fine line between acknowledging those things and allowing ourselves to learn from them, and acknowledging those things and letting them be our center focus in a space of victimhood, right? Oh, people always do this to me, so you know, that's that trauma. So not allowing our trauma, whatever it is, it's different for everyone, but I believe we've all experienced trauma as children. Children are an oppressed class, and you know, acknowledging the ways in which our family harmed us, or our family friends, or the people who were close to us, people we considered family, chosen family, at one point. Allowing ourselves to not stay in that space, but to open up our heart to allowing the right people who are aligned with us to come in, right? Some people are just here for a reason or for a season. It's part of your character development, in my opinion. And theirs as well, you know. I believe that we all do cross paths at certain moments. I believe that the universe is very much more rhythmic and intentional than we believe it is. Again, mostly because of society, conditioning, or indoctrination. But I think when we can pull our scope back from believing that we know everything or that we're the center of the universe, if we can pull ourselves back from that and acknowledge that we're part of a larger cyclical, nature-based life, acknowledging that we are, you know, as humans, we are not more important than any other living creature on the planet, even though humanity has asserted themselves as such. I think that's a reason a lot of the times the hierarchical structures within family cause pain, right? You do what they say, it doesn't matter, you don't get a say, you're a child, things like that. Why does my computer keep doing that? It keeps doing like a big blink, like a screenshot. I don't know if it's affecting my video quality, if it's the FBI, I don't care. Fuck off. You guys kill all the good people, so I'm honored. Alright. I know, I'm a threat. Alright. That's my role. But yeah, let's just take a step back and acknowledge that we are a part of a greater system. We do have a lot of elements here, also with this light and air, that's very much giving fire and air energy. Obviously, we have the earth energy. We don't have a lot of water. Waters are emotions. I mean, we have the storm. Allow yourself to release emotions that may be stuck. And I think that's, you know, the intention behind this reading when we initially started. Allowing the little one within you to feel safe now by giving them outlets, right? Doing the things that you loved when you were little as an adult. I've been really healing my inner child ever since I went no contact with my covert narcissist mother last April. Yeah, it's been like, it'll be 2 years in April. And since then, I've been like listening to the music I used to listen to at different stages of my life, the movies, watching the movies, and reconnecting to who I was at those times when I liked those things, and remembering that girl, right? So it wasn't just yesterday, it was many yesterdays ago, but acknowledging my own past, and how other people, impacted that, and why I resonated with certain things. So allow yourself to be on that journey, right? I did see the journey card as I was putting these away. It popped out, so I'll show you. Again, with that water energy, the emotions, allowing yourself to flow through what you go through. I know it's one of those slogans, but it's real. Being gentle with yourself, giving yourself the gentleness and the care and nurture that you have always wanted to receive. I've been really in that season of my life a lot this year as well. Is like I cannot rely on anyone outside of me to do those things for me, which again, I think our society really harbors that thought or belief that someone outside of you has to be the one to help you, whether it's medically, therapy wise, right, within your family, within the religious constructs, or even the government constructs. So do your best to heal. Do your best to even acknowledge that you need healing. I think we all do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Allow yourself to not go to the people who harmed you for solutions at this time. Allow yourself to find those on your own or from other sources. YouTube, social media is an incredible way to align yourself to others who are similar. YouTube was where I finally started to feel safe in my own psychic abilities, because my family continued to criminalize them on me. And then I found other YouTube readers and psychics and spiritualists who also channel. And I finally was like, okay, I feel safe enough because I've watched them. And I watched them for years before I finally came over here and started doing it. Because it was so traumatizing to me, the way that my family continued to put me in cycles of abuse and trauma and incarceration, because they thought there was something wrong with me when I have these God-given gifts that I'm supposed to use to support humanity and the world, right? And we all have gifts. So tap into what you liked to do when you were little and let that guide you. Have a good one.